Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another webinar. My name is Angelo, your host for today's webinar once again like always, and I see the chat is moving already. Let me know guys if you can hear me well, if the camera is working. I do think it might be a little bit fuzzy, but hopefully that's going to just focus in and be fine. Lovely webinar we have planned for you today. We are going to be taking another look at the candlestick patterns and part 2 today of candlestick patterns. And we have a little surprise for you guys. So let's see if anybody has picked up on the information. Maybe you can click on the description below of this to understand a bit more if you want to be a bit sneaky. But I'll be giving you more information as we go ahead. Let me know in the chat, guys. Where are you from? Where are you watching us from? Are you from... Hey, Mr. Trading Market is here with his little emoji there. Very frequent watcher of our webinars. So welcome again, Trading Market. Guys, where are you from? Are you from Asia, from Africa, from the Caribbean? Good morning if you're from the Caribbean, good afternoon or lunchtime now for Africa, and afternoon, evening in Asia. So let me know in the chat where you're from, and here we go. Yeah, hey, nice one. And my moderators are working as well right now on the chat, so if you do have any questions relating to our webinar or any questions in general, the moderators will be helping you right now, and I'll be answering some questions, as many as I can, at the end of the webinar as well. Georgia, there's the first one. Ukraine, Alexander, welcome back again, my friend. Very happy to have you. Mitesh from India. Trading Market is from Africa. Very, very cool. I was guessing. I had no idea based on the name. Mohammed from Pakistan. Africa again. ITM. Zambia. Very, very nice. Got a very good friend from Zambia. And Pakistan. Okay, lovely. I'm hoping that you can hear me well. And let's begin. Let's crack on with the webinar to get to our surprise. Here is today's subject. As you can see, trading with candlestick patterns. This is part 2. In part 1, we did have a very interesting one there. So if you haven't watched it, there is going to be a link. There is a link in the description video below. My moderators might be nice enough to share a link in the chat as well if you want to watch that one after this, just to recap a bit. But anyway, let's just crack on with this one. Ooh, where am I going? Something went wrong there. Let me just get that back on there. Presentation. Okay. So first thing, there we go. Not going to hold you guys waiting. We have a giveaway. This is the first giveaway we're going to be having. This is the surprise that didn't last long. We are going to have some nice prizes to give away today. Hopefully we'll be doing more of these in future webinars as well. This was a request by one of you guys. I remember a couple webinars back. So see, this is what happens. When you request something, we like it, we do it. And we're going to be giving you some nice gifts today and opportunities to win some nice prizes. So stay tuned. I will be sharing a lot more information as we go on with this webinar. And again, hopefully you're going to enjoy it. Moving on now. First thing first. We're going to take a look at what we learned on part 1, a little recap. If you want to have more information, of course, go watch the video. If you're happy with a little recap, this is it for you right now. So we learned how to identify and use a hammer, a shooting star, dodgy candle, and then head and shoulders pattern. These were the 4 we learned last time. So just a little reminder here, this is a shooting star, and the best way to identify a shooting star is when you see market is rising, and then always look for the peaks, right? Peak moments. That's a peak over there. There's another peak over here. But this is one that is extra special for us right now, because we can see here the market climbs, and then it's a reverse hammer more or less. So the body needs to be, the shadow needs to be 2 times bigger than the body for it to be considered as a shooting star. And as a result of it, it is a bearish pattern. And that's exactly what happens. Look at that massive drop back down, all the way down to there. If you were trading on Forex, this is 50-minute candles or whatever as we're looking at, but there is a massive drop. If you caught early on this moment here and said, oh, that's a shooting star up here, so maybe I can make a trade. So if you opened anywhere along these lines, wouldn't be too late to open up here, which is around, 35, 40 minutes later, then you see the pattern emerge, then you still have a very nice profit to hopefully gather. And that's when you close your trade, hopefully, or anywhere. If you closed it anywhere along this line, it would have still been a nice profit in that region there. So first one, that was the shooting star. Now, lots of hammers. These are hammer candles that we can see here. This is a reverse hammer I'm pointing out on this one here, where if you imagine a hand is grabbing this upper part there, this is the weight that you sling or you hit the nail with. So another one here, for example, a reverse hammer pointing downwards, and it is a bearish one as well if it's pointing down, a bullish one if it's pointing up. For example, let's see a bullish hammer. Let me just go back, let me make it easier. This would be considered a bullish hammer, although would be nice to have a smaller wick on top there. And here, this one's a very nice one in this example here. So if you can see here, this does look like a perfect hammer. Next one we're looking at here is a doji candle. Shows uncertainty in the market, and this is a very high interest moment for us. Best way to use a doji is that you wait for the next candle to form. So you see market is more or less dropping, then you see the doji here, and then the next candle is a red one. Once you identify red, you should expect more drop to happen. Next one is green, not really relevant, but then there is a drop in the market here, and again the overall pattern is negative. And although the doji was all the way back there, the market did drop much lower later, but the initial movement, if we look at that movement there is more or less attributed, we can say, in part to that doji that hinted that to us. Okay, moving on, not to lose too much time here. More hammers, as we can see here. This is what I pointed out before. It looks like a big hammer that can swing and do some damage with. This is not so clear. The body is not 2 times bigger than the wick, but the market did react in that order. But also, if we do pay attention to this, just go back here. All right. Pay attention to this moment here. Let me just draw a little box over it or circle it up for you guys. So this moment we're looking at in here, right? This there. Keep an eye out for that moment, because there is something that is pretty interesting that is happening here, and we're going to get to that. Now the next one we can see here is the head and shoulders. This is a bit more complicated one. So the best way to do it is, at this point, you're just drawing lines in. So the market peaks up. If you forget this rest part, just stick to what is showing here. Market goes down, touches a point. Nothing to do at this point, just looking at the market. At this point again, you see now that the market went up again and it peaked higher. It's higher than the previous. So at this point, you could start thinking, maybe there's a head and shoulders coming. Then you see a reverse back down and it touches the same point more or less as before. This is very good. At this point, you can draw this line in here. This is a neckline. So you have this second signal, the second part in. And now you're hoping for 2 more things to happen. First is this one here. So you want to see the market pull up again. Hopefully not go all the way up to the same line as the head. So you want to see it close to the other shoulder more or less. Same line or a little bit lower, a little bit higher is fine, but not above the head. This case here is perfect. The shoulder completes. The body ends there, so it drops down. Once it starts dropping and it comes to, let's say, around here, there, or here, that's when you can say, okay, I have now my head and shoulders completed. So once you have it completed, explain this over here. Once price crosses the close below the neckline, the pattern is completed. This causes a drop in a larger distance from the shoulder to the neckline, which is required as a minimum. So once you have completed it, and you do have now all your lines in, it is complete, you can expect a very big drop. That's more or less where it completes. It does touch the neck, so you are sure at this moment it did complete the pattern, and all this movement is more or less forecasted. Easiest thing to do, just draw a line, draw a manual line from your graphic tools, take from the neck, draw it up to the head, and that movement, as you can see, I drew it in here already. That's the movement there. It should be at least that. In this case, it might be even double that, because we can see all the way down here the market came lower. It's almost double that amount of the drop. So if you were doing a forex trade here, that would have been a very, very, very nice profit. All this movement in your favor. Okay. Hope you guys are keeping up. I saw some Ronaldo comments here. CR7 Ronaldo. I hope it is the real Ronaldo. If it is, I'd like my Manchester United t-shirt to be signed, please. Okay, today's lesson. We're jumping ahead now. We're coming to today, to the present, and this is what we are going to be looking at. We're going to be looking at bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing, evening stars, and morning stars. The 2 first are pretty obvious. Bullish engulfing, it says it in its name, it's a bullish pattern. Bearish engulfing, it's in the name, it's a bearish pattern, hence the downward movement we're looking for. And then the evening star, this is what it more or less should look like, and it is a bearish pattern. and then the morning star is a bullish pattern. We're going to take them one by one and jump straight into the first one with the bullish engulfing. The requirements for the bullish engulfing are: a bullish engulfing pattern forms with a red candlestick is followed by a large green candlestick, the body of which completely overlaps or engulfs the body of the previous candle. As we can see here as well, guys, right? This is the first candle, second one engulfs it. It's bigger. It covers over the red one. That's what you're looking for. Once you see this, you should expect the market to start climbing. Example time. I'm hoping you guys can spot something already. So Tesla, 1 day candles. What's going on? It's a downtrend. We find a peak more or less up here. Market drops. The next week starts lower, drops even lower point. Bit of a recovery, but then it drops again. What happens then though? We see the bullish engulfing. There it is. Small candle, almost a doji, but it's not a doji. It's red. But then the next one is massive, right? Much bigger than that one. Perfect example here of a engulfing. And market does what? It climbs up, exactly what it is forecasted to do. You see the engulfing one, and then market picks up and reaches almost an all-time high. 1,200 was a very high price for Tesla. I'm very sure it's not up there anymore since the recent drops in the market. Okay, second one, how to identify a bearish engulfing. Well, guys, just to speed things up, it's exactly the same as before in reverse. This is a bearish pattern, so the green candle and then the red one has to be bigger. It has to be not two times, but it has to cover the green one. Once you identify this moment, you should see the market starting to drop. So if you are trading on any form of trading, binary, digital, forex, crypto, anything. If you're looking at short terms, long terms, once you see an engulfing and you know how to use it, you can say, okay, this is a bearish engulfing. I should see the market dropping. So if it's a short binary trade, 1 or 2 minutes, then if your candlesticks, of course, are adequate, you should be able to place a trade in. If you're doing long-term crypto, forex, or stock trading, same thing. You can open your trade and then, or leave it open to a certain price. Or if you see another pattern coming in the opposite direction, let's say 2-3 days after this, you see a bullish engulfing happen, then you can say, okay, I'm closing this trade, I made my profit, I'm getting out of this one, and I'm buying a new trade right now on a bearish engulfing, a bullish engulfing. Okay, it's that time for more information regarding the giveaway. For those of you who are patient and have been waiting, we have more of these coming along. So, the requirements now. The requirements for you to be able to participate and hopefully win one of our prizes. They're very simple requirements. You just need to like this video. You need to be subscribed to our channel. If you are not subscribed, please do subscribe now. Click the notification bell after subscribing as well to be notified for the videos. That's the second requirement. Then the third thing, as soon as this video goes off from the live, it's going to be available on our channel and the comment session will open up. Not the chat where you're writing now, but the comment section which is underneath the video once the video is there. That's where you're just going to need to go and write a comment with the hashtag win, leave a space, and then just add the city where you're living. Where are you living? South Africa, if you're in Cape Town, if you're in Durban, if you're in India, then write your town there as well, where you're living. And that's the third requirement, basically. Easy stuff. Everyone knows where they live. And then the fourth one is you need to have an IQ option account. So this is pretty obvious because the prizes we're going to give are related to the accounts. So you need to have an account for us to be able to deliver your gift to. So if you don't have an account, again, in the description of this video right now, you will find a link there. My moderators might even add, I think, yes, they have added into the chat here, the link for the affiliate as well. So you can just click on that, click on the link, follow the directions, and you can go ahead and make an account if you don't have one. It's absolutely free, no charge at all for the new account. So, you following me, guys? That's pretty clear. Okay, I see. Guess what has wrote? Guys, you already started writing in the chat here your cities. These ones are not going to be valid. These don't count. The chat here doesn't count. You have to do this after this video gets off live and it goes to the channel as a recording or video available on our channel. That's when the comment session opens up underneath the video where you can leave your comment. That's where you need to write there the city where you live. So what you've done here is great. For good examples for the others, look at the chat now. You can see Guess What and Odin Sagbo. These guys both wrote here hashtag win and the correctly. This is all correct here, but you need to do this later, right? You need to do this in the comment section under the video. All right, guys. Moving along. We're going to have maybe a bit more information about this. I'm kidding. We are going to have a bit more information coming about this a few slides later on. So if you're very interested in the giveaway, bear with us a bit more. There'll be more information coming your way. But remember, you have to put your hashtag win, Ghana, or wherever you're from in the comment section after. Not now live in the live video, but after, when the video goes offline. Right? You should be able to do it then. Okay, now to the example, right? We're going to look at the example of the pattern we're looking at. And we can see oil is in an uptrend. You can see here the market climbing. And then what happens here? What is this moment, guys? Bearish engulfing. Very nice, very easy to understand. This candle, the red one, is way bigger than the green one. And this is a pattern that should be a bearish movement. And that's exactly what happens. We can see the market drops, and keeps on dropping. Those of you with a keen eye and are paying attention, you may notice that there's a second one. There's a second engulfing candle. And if you have spotted it already, well done. I'm very proud of you. This is it over here, right? Look at that. Small green, bigger red. So although we can't see it because we ran out of screen, but hopefully the market kept on dropping even further in that direction, going down after this engulfing moment here as well, right? Okay, cool. Moving along. So after that trend, reverse, there it was. Moving along now to the evening star. A very nice candlestick pattern. This is what it looks like for those who want to memorize the picture of it. Always good to follow. And the requirements are there needs to be a green candlestick followed by a small red candle and then a large red candle. So it doesn't really matter the size. This one can be bigger than this one or vice versa. Doesn't matter. But what we need is a sequence. Big green, followed by small red, and then a bigger red, sorry. That's what we need. These three candles to match up for it to be an evening star. Example time. Oil again we're looking at. 15-minute candles again we're looking at. Market is climbing. All of a sudden, there it is. Evening star pattern emerges. Many would say an evening star and what we saw before, a bearish engulfing, are very similar. And that is true. If you look at this in 50-minute candles as we're looking now, it looks this way. But if you were to switch this to 30-minute candles, these candles would more or less merge. So this movement here would come on top of that. So what we would be more or less looking at would be this candle there, this size, let's say. And then if you combine this onto that one, then it is an engulfing, right? It's a bearish engulfing. Hence the market drops. Now, again, guys, those of you with a keen eye and that you are paying attention, I am really hoping that you have noticed that there's another one of these. There's another engulfing happening. So what happens at that moment? The market drops. Then there's a green candle, a big green candle, a small red, and a big red. I hope you guessed it. There it is. Another one. Another evening star. If you put into consideration as well here that there was a doji, right? What happened in this market movement? Let's take it step by step now. Analyze it. Market is climbing. Then we can see a very nice evening star up here. Sign 1, market should start dropping. Next candle is a doji. Attention, something's going to happen. What happens after the doji? A red candle. So another negative sign. Negative sign 1, negative sign 2, market start dropping. Then we see a bit of a pullback happen here. This might be a bit nervous for people that maybe opened a trade here for a downward movement. If this was a long-term forex trade, for example, or a commodity trade, an example here with the oil. So at this point, this might get you a bit nervous. But then you see a small red, you see a big red, and then you can breathe a sigh of relief because there's another one. Evening star 1, negative doji, evening star 2, and then here comes all that movement that we were expecting. So if you did open a trade after the doji when this candle closed, so if you opened anywhere around here, you would have caught it all the way hopefully down to there. Perhaps it dropped even lower, and if it did, and if you did win some money on this trade, I am very happy for you. Moving on now to the exact opposite one of this one. So we looked before at the evening star, now we're going to look at the morning star, and it's exactly the same as before, in different sequence though. We need to see a big red candle, followed by a small green candle, and that has to be followed by a bigger than this one green candle. This is what we're looking for. Normally you'll identify these at the bottom of the trends. So the market is topping out to the bottom. That's when you'll more or less find these kind of patterns. And hoping that you can spot it, or maybe there's more than one. Let me know if you see them in the chat. Hanging Man. Ooh, nice one. We did mention that on part 1. We might hopefully do a part 3 of these candlestick patterns, and Hanging Man might very likely be one that we will be taking a look at. So, okay, guys, what's going on here again with oil? 5-minute candles this time. Market is dropping. Clearly, you can see topping up there all the way down to here. But then what happens? There it is, a morning star. Big red, small green, bigger green. Perfect example of a morning star. Market does climb. Climbs to an extent. We have a pullback happening here. And then, anybody notice the second one? There it is right there. Big red, small green, bigger green, part 2. Market does temporarily pull back a little bit, but after that, it does reach an all-time high way up there. So again, multiple morning stars, and it did show us the direction they're going. Okay, Mr. Gaming Tiger, you're putting in the comment here your city, I hope, or where you're from. But again, this is not where we have to put them, right? We need to put them on the comment section at the end of this video. Once this video ends and goes off from the live stream, then it's going to go to the channel. That's where you need to go, find the comment section underneath the video, and make sure you're liked, subscribed, and then just the notification bell. Right. Hopefully my guys in the chat and the moderator team can explain that as well for the giveaway. And we are going to have another slide coming up very soon with examples of that one. First thing first, let me give you some live examples on my account now. And I did pull up some moments here on Euro USD. Oh, should not move that one. Hopefully I'll find where it was. All right, so this is now 2-minute candle. So this is more or less designed for short-term binary traders. And straight off the bat, let's see. I'm not going to be wasting too much time waiting for the response, because there is always a 30-second delay from the chat from what I'm saying to when you hear it and then you reply back. So this first one here, first moment in this box, what is it, guys? It's not an evening star. It's not a morning star, of course, because it's a down thing here. This is an engulfing, right? Small green, bigger red, engulfing pattern. What happens? The market drops from up there, drops there. Then we see a doji. This doji did not work for us because it's a doji followed by a green. So we should have seen this movement happen. So that one doji didn't really work. This was a false doji, a false signal, let's say. But the market did drop based on this one here, we can say. So there was the negative, very negative pattern here. You could even say here is an evening star in a way, right? Green, small red, big red. That's an evening star. And the market did drop down very low from where it was down to here on the Euro USD. Let's move it along a little bit here now. Doji with red. It did drop pretty nicely down here. So if you did open a trade at the end of this candle, once the doji completed, then 1, 2, 3, 3.5 more or less candles. So if that was a short-term 1-minute, 2-minute trade, it would hopefully be correct, bearing in mind that this is 2-minute candles we're looking at here. So yeah, 2-minute, 3-minute trade would have been hopefully a successful one for you there. What is this moment here, guys? This is the opposite of before. This is a bullish engulfing. So small red, bigger green, upward signal. That's what we get. That's what the market does. Upward climbing straight after this pattern is completed. So if I was trading live right now, I saw this little movement here. Although you could say this might look a bit like an evening star. Market then shortly after shows us a new pattern here with an engulfing. So there it goes. That was what happened up there, climbing up again. And then this moment here, nothing really much. It's this, can consider this as a little pullback down, and then it continues the upward movement that more or less started from there. So if this was a forex trade, that would not be a bad profit. A short-term trade here for 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, buying it from as soon as you see the pattern down here. So you bought at this point and you sell it anywhere up here, would have been very nice. And if you do see, for example, on larger candles, it would show more or less an engulfing here. These two, if you combine them together, it would form more or less a candle a bit on that size, maybe not engulfing. But yeah, maybe you would get a sign with a bit of a pullback happening. Even if you sold it down here, it's still a good sell. Buying it there, selling it there, not bad. Okay, let's move it along, And here again, it's another engulfing one. Market does show here smaller, bigger. Market climbs, keeps on climbing. So from there, closes up to there. That's the movement we're measuring here in this case. Another one. All right, another bearish, bullish engulfing here. small red, followed by a big green, another upward pattern, and it does go up. And now, let's see, what are we looking at here? I think this is one I moved by accident, because this one's not really showing me much. Where are we? Let's just skip that one. That is when I dragged my mouse over there, so it must have been something else. It must have been here, what I was trying to point at. This moment there, a bearish engulfing, market drops as a result. Here is our first more evening star, guys, right? Gold, not good. Someone is writing in the chat. I'm not really in sync with what's going on there, but gold is losing value. We can take a look at that maybe on the live chat and see if there's any on the live account in a few seconds. But first thing first, evening star, right? Big green, small red, bigger red. That's the requirement. What does the market do? It's a very nice drop. So as soon as you see this pattern here complete, and you can identify that this is an evening star, market drops. You hopefully open your trade there and catch all of this movement. Then you see a doji down here, followed by a red, so you can continue with the down trade. You don't have to close it. You've got another nice negative pattern in here, an engulfing here as well, right? So you had a first negative pattern up here, another negative pattern here, another negative pattern here. So let's see what happened afterwards. Hopefully the market dropped even further, and it did. It dropped very nicely lower down. And what is this one? So this is the end of it, right? If you did open a trade up there and you followed it all the way through down to here, at this point we have a morning star, right? There it is. Red, smaller green, bigger green. So that ends your trade. You see this one, if you had that trade there open, you would see this movement and say, okay, I'm closing it. I see a bullish pattern now. So you could close that initial trade here, so winning a profit from up here to that point here. Not bad at all, right? That's a very nice trade. So you could even open another trade here. Once you see this one, you could have opened a trade, and it didn't last for long. There is an engulfing here that ended that sequence. So it's a bit of a pullback, short pullback. Maybe you'll open it from here to there once you see this pattern complete, more like this. So not really much movement there. But it is an engulfing, so you could act on that one, and you could follow the market down. Now, guys, you can understand that just by understanding the day's 4 candle patterns we looked at, we found so many signals already, right? So if you're focusing in on this and you're watching every single candle, you see these 3, you see bearish pattern. You take a trade straight away. You go for a buy. This is more or less for Forex, right? Then you see a bearish pattern here. You end your trade. So you made a small profit. Market drops, drops, drops. You see here an engulfing, right? Then you could take another trade. Once this candle closes here, the next one closes there. These two together is a bearish engulfing. There it drops very nicely down. Bullish engulfing here, you end the trade. So you opened it there, you closed it there. Once this candle is completed. Morning star, right? It's not at the peak, but it is a reverse hammer. You could take that as a negative pattern. But next one is an engulfing. So there you go again. Back to today's subject. Bearish engulfing. Market is expected to drop. And it does drop temporarily, right? Moving up forward. Red, small green, bigger green. You could see this as a bullish one. This is a morning star. Doesn't last for long, pulls back down, and it's in here now. We can see more or less, again, this is not an evening star. This one had to be flipped around for it to be an evening star. But we see an engulfing forming right now, more or less. So this one is really mixing things up now. It is middle of the day now. US market is about to open. So maybe volatility is picking up. Traders are different moves right now. But in the morning time, when it was only one market working more or less, then we could see loads of patterns in there. Let's see. I did see a comment before about gold. Let me see if I can find anything relating to that. Because someone said gold not good. So what is going on with gold? 1-day candles we're looking at here. Not sure this is long-term or short-term you're talking about. We do see a peak up here, right? It's not anything on that. Market dropped. This one is a very nice shooting star, right? It is more or less at a point where it's rising. Then this star pattern here, morning shooting star, small body, big wick. If you haven't watched the first video, guys, you'll find all the information about this on the first one. And as a result of this after, we got a nice signal that the market is dropping, right? Here we see an engulfing. This one is slightly bigger than that one. So without overdoing it, you could see that this is an engulfing candle. But this here is a lot more clear, isn't it? What's this one, guys? We talk about it today on our subject. I said it 10 times already. So I'm hoping that you understand that this is a morning star. Red candle, small green, big green. Market should start climbing. That's what happens here. It does climb. Not tremendously, but it is a climb. Levels out to a high point here. Engulfing. Big engulfing here. Negative. Doesn't really drop too low, but there still is movement to come. We could possibly see this engulfing take further. That's the latest. This is engulfing as well here, an upwards engulfing. So it's a bit wishy-washy in these last couple of patterns here in the last few days. Morning star. Morning star would be basically, where are we looking at? This one here, right? If this is what CR7 Mr. Ronaldo is saying, then you are absolutely correct. Guys, if I'm highlighting this correctly, this one is what you're looking at and saying morning star. If I said something else, I apologize. It is a morning star. And that's what happened after the market price gains, leveled out, stayed more or less in a corridor. If you draw some support resistances along there, they're more or less accurate. And it is in this little corridor now. Everything has been more or less in it. Even today's candle has touched in this. You can even just go ahead and draw them in here for you guys. So there would be one. This would be more or less the peak. And market is trading now in this corridor as a result of that morning star. Market jumped into this corridor and is stuck in it. Only this candle here did not touch that corridor, but the next one, of course, jumped back in, out, in, out. It's challenging to break under it now. Today's candle already touched it, so unless you're really looking for something like a grab here, there's not really much to go on. There's nothing. This is the last pattern, was a bearish, bullish engulfing here, and it did more or less time out because already here we see the market dropping. So not really much to move on with gold right now. It is in the corridor. So if you are looking at gold and thinking this is something worth trading, there's many things you could do. You could maybe even look at this trend here, look at the peak up there, draw it to more or less, I don't really see that very clear. Maybe I have to go to a bigger candle to see if it is something we can identify from here. So, bit of a stretch. It's a bit of a stretch, guys. I'm really trying hard to find some kind of a channel here, but it's not really giving me that, is it? It's basically just in the horizontal zone we found here that formed after that that candle pattern we formed before with the morning star. So after the morning star, that's the latest. Have to be a bit more patient, wait a little bit more to see the next couple of days. If it's going to stay back in the channel, then you could possibly buy to keep it in. If it breaks under, if this candle closes underneath, the next candle opens, let's say the next candle opens like there, forms something like this over here, doesn't touch the line, then you could say, okay, I could take down trades now. So this is no longer a support, it's going to be a resistance. We're going to most likely look back and find another support. Down here looks good. So you just go to your graphic tools, take another one, put it in there, and you'll be working with this channel. This would be your support. Let's make it white. This would be your resistance. Let's make it red and make it wide. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make it yellow so it's more colorful and visible for you guys. And then this one is no longer used, but we can just keep it there, keep it in something bright like a purple, and that was the previous resistance. So currently resistance is up here, currently support is here. If this candle closes negative and the next one opens, let's say here, doesn't touch the yellow line, is very important, then we could see hopefully more candles coming this way, market dropping, hopefully to this line here. That will be our support, which will most likely be challenged, bounced off a few times, and might stay in this corridor. Maybe it goes up, maybe it doesn't, maybe it just touches a few more times and breaks under. So that's all speculation right now. Based on what we have to work with, it's not much. We are looking for, these lines would help us, but we are looking for patterns as well, right? The morning star we saw before was very, very helpful. It pushed us into this channel. So this morning star touched the support down there, pushed us up into the upper channel, and kept us in this channel now, which we're still in, right? And here we go again. It went down to the previous, back into the current channel. Right, guys, I hope you're finding this useful. And I think that's enough examples because I don't want to waste too much time on this. We still have something very important that many of you, I think, are interested in. Abi Lino, giveaway, iPhone 13, Oh, Abby, I wish it was an iPhone 13. I can tell you straight up, it's not an iPhone 13. I'm sorry. Maybe future content giveaways will be iPhones and products. This time it's not. So let me just click away. Back to our presentation. Bit of a Q&A. Do you guys have any questions? I hope my moderators have been answering your questions that you had there. CR7 is asking, where am I from? Well, I'm a bit of a European cocktail, is what I like to call myself. Mongrel. European grandparents and parents. German, Dutch, Greek and Cypriot are the 4 types of blood inside me from 4 different grandparents from 4 different countries. And born in England, lived in Greece and Cyprus the majority of my life. So European cocktail is what I would call myself, to answer your question there, Mr. CR7. Okay, got questions, guys. Questions about the trading, not about me. Small fund deposit will be better. Yeah. Oh, if that's Dexter, if that's about the giveaway, you're more or less in the right lines. Something to do with funds. Is this more for day traders? Great question, Tyrell. Very good question there. No, it's not. This is for any kind of trader. You can use these candlestick patterns if you're doing 1-minute binary trading or digital trading. You can use them if you're doing long-term, 1-day, 2-day, 3-day trading. You can even use it for long-term, very, very long-term cryptocurrency trading. The most important thing is that you have to use the correct candlestick, right? So if you're trading on 1-minute candles or 1-minute expiration on a binary trade, best use 15-second or 30-second candles. If you're doing short forex trades, then it's maybe good to use 5-minute candles. The more adequate for what you're trading. If you're doing long-term trading, then use 1-day candles or 8-hour candles. It's more adequate to combine this on what you're looking at. That's how you use anything, right? Same goes for anything related to trading. The most important thing is to make sure you're using the right candle. Let me just show, for example, here. If I was now looking on Euro USD and I'm doing 1-minute trading on binaries, I would be on my 30-second candles. I'll be zoomed in and I'll be looking at the latest sequence. Bearish, bullish engulfing, I would see here. I would see here another one happening there, a small green followed by a big red. Don't see any okay, what's going on here? No engulfing. Oh, there you go. What's this one here, guys? You should know this one. I spoke about it multiple times already. Big red, small green, big green. Market climbs again to all-time highs up here. So this morning star here was a very nice one. Right, so engulfing happening here. Not really that much into it. I don't really like jumping into trades without really focusing enough to get a bit of a pattern, although I can see the market is climbing from down here up to this point where it is now in a trend. This is 30-second candles. This engulfing more or less does look like it was correct. It did engulf very, very nicely here, and the market is dropping. What I personally like to do is to throw in there an indicator as well, just to make things easier for me. I'll go to my popular, I'll go down to my RSI, very trusty RSI, and have this on the bottom here just so I can know overbought and oversold, the price values, and combine that together with the candles. So what I'm seeing here, reds. Would be nice if I saw something like an engulfing happen right now, or a morning star, something like what we saw, where was it? Down here. If this pattern happens again right now, which might be, there we go. That's like a red, small green. If this one does close bigger than this one and in green, that will be a good go signal. So money management is something I always use. I have 4,000, so 80 is my 2%. And I want to see a bigger candle here. Wow, that looks very nice. I'm going to get ready for it. Might even place this trade in. Yep, let's go. So I did get a morning star, right? Big red, small green, big green. That's the morning star, meaning that this market should pump up, hopefully to a new high, maybe touch the previous high, which was up there, right? So we should be hopefully seeing the market climb to this level up here, and that would be a very, very nice, nice way to trade. we're not ever guaranteed to win all of them. So as long as I did my job right, means I looked at this pattern, identified it nicely, and placed the trade at the right time. That's what I did. I can't blame anything other. Ooh, that was not very nice. If the market doesn't go my way and I end up losing this trade, I can't really lose my cool and get frustrated. I did everything correctly. I followed the rules and I traded accordingly. This big red candle here is not the nicest to me. There is still 30 seconds, so we could see something change, but it does look like a massive engulfing just happened there, and that thing just really ruined the previous. So this latest engulfing here is a negative sign for me. I need a bit of a miracle right now to pull this 80 euro back, or some dedicated trading to come. Yeah, it looks like we lost it. Anyway, serves me right for placing a trade without really focusing much on the market, just jumping to it and finding the first pattern. But just trying to show you guys a winning trade. Never mind, I'll get that back. 3,955. Hopefully by my next webinar, I'll get that back so you can see me with a bigger balance. Anyway, okay guys, let's go back to the important stuff. What's going on here? There we go. Q&A, I think I answered plenty of them. Now we're going to go to the giveaway. Okay, so what we do have for you guys, 10 winners is what we're going to have. 10 winners where every winner is going to be getting some very nice prizes. 10 free entries to tournaments. Tournaments, if you are unaware, are available throughout the time on our accounts. There are cash prizes on all the tournaments. So 10 lucky winners will have free entrances for the tournament. They will additionally have a free VIP training session. So one of our VIP account managers will give these 10 winners the free entrance, a free training session on anything related. Can be candlestick patterns, can be Fibonacci's, can be many things depending on how advanced you are as a trader who is a winning trader. And then a very, very important thing, the last thing here, an exclusive tournament strategy PDF file. So you're going to also win a PDF that we're going to create for you with a very good strategy which is specifically for tournaments. So a bit of a way for us to show off our tournaments here, free entrances, free training session, and PDF for that tournament. Once again, quick reminder for what are the requirements. You need to like the video, right? So you have to have a like on this as soon as it goes off the live. Make sure you like, subscribe to our channel, write in the comment section underneath hashtag win, leave a space mark, and then the city where you're living in. For example, Cape Town. If you're from Cape Town watching this, write hashtag win space and then Cape Town. That gets you in the draw. Very importantly, the draw, all the information you need about the giveaway is going to be available in the description below, just to make sure everything is very fair. We're not going to be doing any cheating because it's not even possible. YouTube is very, very strict with regards to this. Important to mention, this is a 100% IQ option giveaway. It's got nothing to do with YouTube. It's a 100% IQ option giving this away. So what you need to do, I explained it. 10 winners will be picked by a comment picker, which is the software that does the comments picking from the winners there. And you have 60 minutes, right? Important, guys, you have 60 minutes. As soon as this goes offline, as soon as I end this broadcast, you'll just be able to refresh, find the video on the channel, go to the comment section, write your comment exactly like that one there, Win Beijing by Mr. Li Shu. Like that. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but yeah, that what you did here, you just need to do in the comment section underneath the video once I end the live broadcast. And then 60 minutes later, we're going to pick the winners. The winners will be contacted through the comment section as well, and prizes will be given out. Again, small reminder, if you do not have an account, there is a link in the description below here where you can click on that and go make an account absolutely free of charge. Guys, all of you doing the comment here now, hashtag win, I really, really hope you're going to do this thing correctly on the comment session. What you're doing here is the chats, right? This does not count. It has to go to the comment session at the end of this video, right? So I think that more or less covers everything. I'm going to end it right now. So guys, refresh the page, go to the comment section as soon as this ends and put in there the hashtag win and the city you're living. So guys, have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed the webinar. Stay tuned for the next one. Make sure you always like, subscribe, Click the notification bell for the next webinar. Next one should be coming up in the beginning of next month. And we also have a bunch of Thai webinars. We have Malaysian webinars. We're going to have our first Indonesian webinar coming up very soon. So there's other languages available on our YouTube channel as well. So not only English. If you want to see something else in your own language, if you're speaking Thai or Malaysian or Malay, just go and enjoy those videos also. Right, guys. Thank you. Have a wonderful day and best of luck with all of your trading. Take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye.